Hi everyone, my name is Celeste. I am the homeschooling mom of 3 boys, and we have entered into our 3rd year of homeschooling this year. And I remember when we first started homeschooling, one of the first questions that I thought was, what about record keeping, right? What about record keeping? And I remember trying to figure out how to go about this. And I was on the search for some free resources that would help me in this. And I'm so happy to share that we did find something that has worked very well for our family. So I'm going to be doing a 2-part series to record keeping. This is the first part where I'll be sharing this free electronic resource to keep our electronic records. And then I'll be doing a second part to share how we store our paper records. So if you're interested, you can look out for that video as well. So this free electronic resource is one that was created by Joy at 5js.com. She generously has allowed this to be used as a free download for personal use. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you a look at this free resource. Okay, so this is a look inside the Gradebook. So you can find it at 5js.com, Homeschool Gradebook free download. So if you look here on the website, there are different notes that explains how to use it. If you want to use it with multiple students, you'll need to save it on a separate file for each student. Also gives the different options for downloading. So there's an option for Gradebook for OpenOffice, for Microsoft Excel, or also for OpenOffice with a French and English version. So those are all the different options. It also talks a little bit about the features and includes some screenshots of the actual form. But what I'm going to do is actually take you to a blank form and kind of show you how it's laid out and how you can fill it out for your students. Okay, so this is the Gradebook for the Excel version. So the first sheet that it has, or first tab, is a summary sheet with directions. So basically it gives the directions on how to fill out the different sheets within the form. So it's really detailed and explains every single one of the sections of the form pretty well. But what I'm going to do is actually take you through, and I'm going to go tab by tab and kind of fill the form out so that you can see how it works. Okay, so this is the first tab. It's the summary tab. So in this tab, what you want to do, where it says student, you want to put your student's name. So I'm just going to do a sample form. You want to put your school year, as well as the name of your school. If your homeschool has a name, you can go ahead and put that there. Now that is all you're going to do. You're not going to fill out anything else because the rest of the form will be populated within the other tabs as you fill out the information and the other tabs of your form. Okay, the next form is attendance. So this is great if you want to keep attendance for your children, or also if your school district requires attendance records. So the way that it works is that there is a vertical column for each month, and you would just put a 1 next to each day that you have done school. So for example, if you did school on September 4th, you want to put a 1 in there. September 5th, a 1. Maybe you didn't have school for a couple days. And then a few more days here, maybe in October, just putting in some random school days so you can see how it works. So on the bottom of each column, then it would say for September, you had a total of 5 school days. In October, you had a total of 3 school days. And then when you go up to this green bar, it has the total school days for the whole year. And that will continue to add as you go through the school year. Right, the next section in the form is the courses. So if you look here on the bottom tabs, there is space for 12 different courses. So depending on how many courses you want to use or need, there should be ample space for each one of them. So I'm going to go back to where it says course 1. The first thing you want to do on this top green bar is put the name of the course. So I'm going to go ahead and name this course Algebra 1. The next part is that it allows you to add credits to your course. So you can put that as 0 if you don't need to keep credits, if it's for an elementary student, or if you're doing a high school courses or you want to keep credits, you can go ahead and put the credits that correspond there. The next section is the course description and resources used. So if you want to add something about the course, you can add that there. The next part of this, a really great feature actually that this form has, is that you can weight grades. So you can determine if you'd like to have different parts of your coursework be part of the grades in different ways. So they have it as daily, quizzes, tests, and then other, but you can go ahead and update these. So if you want to have this be worksheets, quizzes, tests, and maybe you want to change this to projects, for example. Oh, so projects. And then you can go ahead and change this as well to match. And then you can determine what percentage you want each of these. Actually, let me just update this. Okay. So let's say we want the worksheets to be 5% of the final grade. Quizzes will be 10%. And then if you notice, you see we're getting warnings. This just is a reminder to make sure that all of your percentages add up to 100. So we may have our tests equal 80. And then projects, let's say, be 5. So that will equal 100. That's just an idea. I just kind of did random percentages, but you'll have to determine how you'd like to weight it. Another thing you can do is just we'll do another course. Actually, let me go back really quick. One thing I forgot to mention. Down here on the tab where it says course 1, you can go ahead and rename that so that as you're working on the tabs, it's easier to see and find each of your courses. So pretty much this is set up. So let's do one more. Course number 2, maybe we want this to be science. We're going to assign it 1 credit. Again, if you'd like to write something here, you can. I'll leave it blank for now. And maybe for science, this is an example, we want to have our tests be 100% of our grade. Let's just say we decided that. So the way that then, once it's set up, the way you would enter grades is, let's say that on September 10th, your student took a test and they scored a 95 on it. And then let's say that on September 25th, they took another test and scored an 87. It will automatically populate and generate the overall grade that your student would have up to that point. Also shows it up here. Now let's go, actually we'll rename this as well to say science. And I'll go back to the Algebra 1 course that we had created to enter some grades here. Okay, so here we have, we added a grade for a worksheet, a quiz, a test, and a project. And then with the weighted grades, that would be the final grade up to that point. One thing I will say, it's important if we assign a weight to a certain category that you have a grade there. Because for example, if I had assigned tests to be 80%, but I didn't have any scores, if you can tell, that's going to greatly impact the final grade. So that's just a quick pointer or tip. So then you can go ahead and complete the rest of your courses, enter all that in. Then the rest of the form, the next section would be the reading book list. So if you'd like to keep a log of the books that your child has read throughout the year, you can put the date they finished reading it, the book title, and the author. Then the next tab is an activities, extracurricular activities log. So you can put any extra activities that they've participated in there, as well as field trips. And then this one of the final sections is a grade report. So what I'm going to do is try to show you this in the print preview form so you can get a better look at it. All right, let's zoom this. Okay. Okay, so, we need to go back and put that grade in for that algebra course so that your student doesn't have an F there. So let's go back and add in that test. Okay, so this would be the grade report for your students. So it would have your student's name, the school year, the school name, how many school days they did in the school year, and then their grades. So if you notice, it shows the credits they've earned, the courses taken, their grade, and then also a letter grade. So this is a grading scale that's used. And so then you're able to see that there, as well as on the bottom, it'll have total credits and the final grade average for the school year. So this is a cumulative form.
a cumulative record. So you can give this report to your students if you want to do report cards, if that's something you'd like to do, or give maybe halfway mark check-in, you can do that, but know that it is cumulative. So it's just adding all of the work that they're doing so that at the end of the year you have their grade report for that school year. And the very last section is a course list. And again, if you wanted to fill something in for the course description in this section, I'll go back, look in this section here, whatever you put there will be here in the course description. So that's just if you want to have this as a course study. I don't use this portion because I find there's not that much space. So I prefer to have a separate form for my course study, but that is there as well.
Okay, so that is a look inside this free resource. And as I mentioned, I will be doing a second part to our record keeping system where I'll show a look inside our paper records. Thanks so much for watching. I pray that you and your family are well, that you're blessed, and I look forward to talking to you soon.